right, good evening everyone, it's Alex Sedlak, and in this video I'm basically going to be describing who runs the fucking world. Because the majority of people will say it's the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, but that's just completely naive, saying it's one or two, three, four families. Not the case at all. So in this video, let's just get right fucking into it, because we have a group of, say, 10,000 people that are all interconnected. And then you have the majority of the population, you got fucking 8 billion over here. So how in the world does 10,000 people control 8 billion people? It doesn't make any sense when you think about the ratio. I mean, that's like fucking 1 to fucking 500 million or some shit like that. Quick math, I know. So we have the elites over here. That's what you call these group of people that you're not invited to that club. I'm not invited to that club. And they're infiltrating a majority of your decisions without you even knowing it, because it's such a vast group of individuals that you can't really even wrap your head around it. So stick with me here, because this is going to be essentially a breakdown of the entire matrix, and how your whole life has basically been a lie, and all of your decisions have basically been manipulated, and you've been condescended into deciding the things that you decide. So we have 8 billion people over here, you, me, we, everybody, and the elites are a group of, obviously, those families. You have the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, whatever. But you also have the royal families. You have the Britain royal families. You have Putin. You have Saudi money. You have the ultra mega rich families like the Gates, Clintons. And then you have ginormous CEOs like Bezos, Musk, Zuck, that control some of the biggest apps that we use on a day-to-day basis. They control what we see. And that brings me into the media. The media is owned by these families as well. The media is owned, well, Twitter is owned by Elon Musk, but when you think about how like CNN and BBC and Fox News, they're all owned by the same person. Do you understand that? They are all owned by BlackRock. So then we have like that. We have BlackRock, who is a ginormous investor in basically everything that you do in your day-to-day life. BlackRock has a majority share in that company. Every little thing you fucking do. So then you have, all right, so we have BBC, we have CNN, we have Fox News, and it's funny how they all basically disagree with each other. And they do that intentionally, because the goal over here is to keep you divided, dumb, and fat, and confused. That is their end goal, is to keep the masses over here dumb by watching mindless content on the news, Instagram, TikTok. They're trying to keep you fat by normalizing it, showing you that a majority of the world is fat, 60% of the world is fucking fat now. Putting harmful chemicals in your processed food, trying to make you think that red meat is bad for you, because I can keep going. Let's keep going. Before we get into the fat and confused, because the hormones, we'll get into it. So we have the ginormous philanthropy groups like the Gates Foundation, the Clinton Foundation, all of these ginormous foundations that are for research, and they fund nothing. They have nothing but good intentions. But I don't know if you guys just saw that thing with Bill Gates and the Melinda Gates Foundation, how they funded $35 million to mosquito research and GMO mosquitoes, and then they released mosquitoes, and now all of a sudden we have fucking malaria. Pfizer, pharmaceutical companies, Moderna, they're all in this club. They're all in this club because I don't know if you guys realize, but the World Economic Forum, that's a big one. They're all in the World Economic Forum. I don't know if you guys realize this, but there's this thing called the Event 201, where all these people in the club met up for basically one big party where they discussed before COVID happened that, hey, if there ever is a pandemic, this is what we need to do. So it's almost like they saw it coming before it happened. And it's just so ironic that Bill Gates had a majority hold share or whatever in Pfizer. So then when Pfizer was pumping out waxy to the fucking general population, he was profiting fat amounts off of it. So now it just makes you wonder, why is he releasing genetically modified mosquitoes into the fucking world? Because he wants to sell the malaria vaccine? Is that what he wants to do next? Who fucking knows? So you have the World Economic Forum, you have Klaus Schwab. So World Economic Forum is something that is not talked about nearly enough. A lot of you know what the World Economic Forum is, but it's basically where all these people meet up. And we can't even forget about the giant companies like Anheuser-Busch that owns all the alcohol. You have Target, you have Walmart. All of these giant companies are all in this club. You may know the CEOs, but you don't know that they're in the club. You have the Hollywood celebs, and you have their agents who then infiltrate. So the agents are in this club, and the agents infiltrate the minds of the celebrities and tell them what they have to promote, or they're going to not sign them with a record label because they basically signed a deal with the dev to basically have to promote whatever they are told to promote. You literally sell your soul to make it in Hollywood. So then, what all they do, they all agree on the policy. So you have the obese policy. Let's make everyone obese. Let's make everyone confused sexually. Let's fuck up their hormones. So they all agree like, hey, let's just confuse them and make them as dependent on us as absolutely possible. Let's put atrazine in their water. Let's demasculinize the men and feminize the women so that everyone's confused and there are no strong masculine men to rebel against us. Let's continue to confuse them with the LGBTQ trans propaganda shit and make people feel like it's normal, when a majority of the people that are coming out as trans have just been consuming TikTok content that has basically confused them over time. When you're just like a 14, 15-year-old person. You're learning life. You're not fucking gay or trans. I'm sorry to break it to you. Like, if your parents haven't told you this, it's because they're scared, and they've also been infiltrated by the system. And a lot of this shit is just designed to keep you dumb. And when your parents are also infiltrated by this propaganda and this system, when you try to talk to them about this, they're just going to tell you that you're so cynical. You're not making any sense at all. So it's basically a lost cause to talk to your grandparents and your mom and dad about it, because they are a victim of the years and years and years and years of brainwashing and propaganda. So when our generation starts to wake up to this, we're basically on our own, right? We don't really have anyone else to talk to about this, except for those few older people that do understand what the fuck is going on and who's pulling the strings. So when you look at Republican and Democrat, you have the politicians who are also in this party. And if you guys haven't seen the movie Eyes Wide Shut, watch that movie. I also teach us in Create Reality. I'm having a free Zoom call on July 19th that you absolutely need to be there if you don't want to be stuck in this constant loop of getting the propaganda shoved down your throat or feeling lost, stuck, and uncertain, trapped in the fucking rat race. I'll put the link for the Zoom call in the description below. It's on July 19th. I'm going to be covering this and more. So anyway, when you hear Republican and Democrat, it's just pure division. They want to divide you. So now you have Twitter, which is completely Republican. You have Instagram and TikTok that are completely liberal, done for a reason, because they're just trying to confuse and divide everyone as much as possible. So when you hear Republican, when you hear Ronald F. Kennedy, or what is his name? Robert, the new one. Robert Kennedy. When you hear Robert Kennedy, DeSantis, it doesn't fucking matter. None of it matters. No politics matter, because it is all decided by these people. I mean, we all know that the last election was rigged, and I'm not even a fucking Republican or a Democrat. I just know. It's really bizarre that 5 million votes came in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. the night before the election. You know, it's because it was chosen. So it doesn't matter who you're going to vote for, because it's all a fucking scam. It is all chose by this 10,000 group of people who know what's going to happen. So stop falling for the liberal propaganda or the Republican propaganda. It is all propaganda to get you to hate one side. So when we fight with each other, we don't fight against them. That's the real war we need to be fighting. There's a spiritual war going on, one that we are paying with our soul, one where we are losing touch with the family unit. They are trying to destroy the family unit, trying to demasculinize us because, well, you guessed it, they got porn over here too. So they're trying to destroy the family unit because there's nothing stronger than a family that is strong and centered, or a wife and her partner. There's nothing stronger than the family unit. So they're trying to destroy that. They're trying to make it so you're not neighborly with your neighbors because your political views are different. So you put a fucking DeSantis sign in your fucking front yard and now your liberal neighbor doesn't like you because you vocalize your political opinions when it's all just a fucking scam designed to divide all of you. It's just insane. It's just insane. So wake up. Stop eating shitty processed foods. Go to the fucking grocery store. Buy a pound of ground beef. It's like $5, bro. That is really the only untouched nutrients that we can get, and even that's still kind of fucked because they're giving it antibiotics and hormones from the companies in the fucking club. They're spraying the glyphosate on the fucking crops that they feed to us to keep us malnourished, and they are the ones producing it. Do you not understand? I know I sound probably fucking insane, but it's just so simple when you start following the money and you start following who is pulling the strings. All the big names, all of the big names. And then you have even the influencers like Joe Rogan, Dylan Manuvi, that you begin to trust because they are just normal people like you and I that then gain a giant platform, but then are sold out because they have to promote the agenda. That's why you can't listen to celebrities. And if you even give a fuck about what celebrities are doing, you're watching Kim Kardashian, you're watching anything, what the fuck are you doing? That is how they keep you dumb. And if you're eating any of the food that you see on the commercials, any fast food whatsoever, that's how they keep you fat. You guys starting to see how all of this just ties in together to keep you divided, dumb, fat, and confused? Sports, keeping you dumb. Something just to fucking watch and fill your brain with goo. The Super Bowl, dumb. NBA playoffs, dumb. It's all just for profit. Keep you confused. If you give them bread and circus, they will never revolt. That quote goes back hundreds of years, and it's still more true than it has ever been ever today. So, the only solution that we all have is to stop buying into the fucking woke, liberal, Republican, anything. Don't buy into any side. Be a centered person. When someone asks you if you're liberal or Republican, you say, I don't believe in it because it's a fucking scam. It is all a scam. I am neutral. I am a rationalist. I don't identify as a fucking political party. I identify as a person that has his own opinions, and I am a rational thinker. I am someone who doesn't fall for the division. I will not beef with you if your political views are different. I'm someone who is not dumb. I don't sit in front of the TV all fucking day. I focus on what's important. I focus on creating stronger connections with the people around me. I am not fat. I don't consume processed shit that they feed to me, shoved down our throats. I don't shop at Walmart. And if I do, I only buy ground beef and honey. I don't have confusion sexually because I realize that it's all fucking propaganda, that they want to confuse me, that they want to tear up the family unit, that they don't want day. I focus on what's important. I focus on creating stronger connections with the people around me. I am not fat. I don't consume processed shit that they feed to me, shoved down our throats. I don't shop at Walmart. And if I do, I only buy ground beef and honey. I don't have confusion sexually because I realize that it's all fucking propaganda, that they want to confuse me, that they want to tear up the family unit, that they don't want strong, centered families. Do you guys start to understand now? Do you understand who's pulling the strings? Does this make sense, Breen?
For sure.
Do you think the average person can understand this?
I don't know about average. But yeah, it's all true.
It's all designed to keep you dumb, divided. Don't fall for any of it. Think for yourself. Be centered and be a rational thinker.